Today we are working Psalm 15. In Psalm Magic, we use Psalm 15 to eliminate resentments, to remove evil influences, to remove evil spirits, and for peace of mind. Today I'm going to gear Psalm 15 to quieting the mind. It's the quiet mind that gets things done. With a quiet mind, we are in a position of power and can affect change. The way we work Psalm Magic is simple, easy, and effective. We take our psalm that we're working and we read it out loud all the way through once without stopping. This is known as an incantation. After we finish that, we go back through the psalm and we consider each verse one at a time, and we do our best to find some meaning behind each verse. We call those occult meanings because they're hidden. And those occult meanings we call magic seeds. And those seeds of magic are real things. And because we are working and tilling the grounds of our deep mind by searching for those hidden meanings and trying to apply what we find to whatever our situation is that we've brought to the psalm, we are planting those magic seeds in the fertile grounds of our minds, where they take root, they grow, they blossom forth, and they bear fruit after their kind. And that is exactly what you and I are going to do together right now with Psalm 15. Lord, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness, and speaketh the truth in his heart. He that backbiteth not with his tongue, nor doeth evil to his neighbor, nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor, in whose eyes a vile person is contemned, but he honoureth them that fear the Lord. He that sweareth to his own hurt and changeth not. He that putteth not out his money to usury, nor taketh reward against the innocent. He that doeth these things shall never be moved. It starts out with an invocation to the Lord. Now, the Lord for us in magic is a symbol for the one power, the one source, the one force, the one substance in all the universe. You know how if you jump up and down, the down is gravity. You jump up and you come back down with gravity. If I drop something, it falls to the floor. If you drop something, it falls to the floor. If I jump up, I come back to the floor. But I don't say my gravity, your gravity. We all have the same gravity. I don't say my air and your air. We all breathe the same air. I don't say my earth and your earth. We all share the same earth. And the same is true for the infinite intelligence that is the Lord in these Psalms. It's all for us. It's all oneness. That's why we say there's only one. Not one separate from others, but only one. There's only oneness. And since there's only this one power, nothing can oppose it. Nothing can thwart it. And nothing can successfully stand against it. We say that one with this force is a majority. And whomever this force is for, nothing can be against. And that's why we take time to orient ourselves in our mind to what Lord actually means, so that when we work the psalm, we're working it magically rather than religiously. We don't think of the Lord as being some deity outside of ourselves who will dole out rewards and punishments. Lord, who shall abide in thy tabernacle? Let's look at the tabernacle for our purposes of this psalm today as being that quiet mind. That place in our mind where we can actually work successful magic. When we have peace of mind, we are in a position of power. If our mind is racing and we're all upset, we don't want to work magic. That's not a smart idea. We want to focus on quieting the mind first, and then we work our magic. In fact, many times when you can quiet the mind, you don't have to worry about working magic. That is the magic. Sitting in that silence, sitting in that quietness tends to solve problems for you. Very much like getting a good night's sleep tends to make you feel better. It tends to take care of illnesses and things. When somebody's sick, many times the best thing they can do is not take more pills and not look up things on the internet. It's just to rest and let the body heal itself. when we consider what this quiet mind is, it is the source of all power for us. So that's the tabernacle for us here today, is that quiet mind. So Lord, who shall abide in this tabernacle? Who shall dwell in thy holy hill? The holy hill is the place on which the tabernacle has been erected. And that holy hill is that exalted place in our mind, our higher self. He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness. Our inner and external posture, our poise, is where our peace lies. When we are poised, we are in a posture of peace. You've all heard that phrase, fake it till you make it. Sometimes acting poised and peaceful is all that it takes to let that peace rush in and quiet the mind. He that walketh uprightly and worketh righteousness. Righteousness is right-mindedness, right thinking. If you are poised and choosing thoughts that are true, meaning at one with the infinite, you're thinking thoughts that are true about yourself versus the lies of the ego, then you're in your right mind. And speaketh truth in his heart. In the Psalms, heart is talking about the habitual mind, getting in the habit of thinking right thoughts. Speaking truth in his heart is thinking right thoughts. And also listening to your speech as an indicator of what the heart is thinking and changing those speech patterns. Nothing ever works for me. That's good that you said that because it's telling you that's your habitual thought form. So we're going to say that's not true. You're not speaking truth in your heart. You're speaking falseness in your heart. You're speaking lies in your heart. Ultimately, everything does work out for you if you let it, if you quiet your mind, if you reorient your thinking to thoughts that the infinite is thinking with you. If you're thinking thoughts all by yourself, separate from the infinite, you're going to get those results because that's how creative you are. That's how powerful you are. So if we look into our lives and we see that there are problems, there is discord, there is disharmony, and we listen to our words and we hear habitual things coming out of our mouths that are reflecting discord and disharmony, then we understand, the reason I'm not in the tabernacle is because I'm not speaking truth in my heart. Because the truth is that I'm perfect the way I was created. I'm always at peace. I'm harmonious. All is well. Everything is always working out for my highest good. And when we start to speak the truth, then the truth starts to manifest for us. First in our mind, we feel better, and then in our environments. But if our environments are reflecting lies, then we get what we get. And we have to understand, let's find that seat of power first, which is our mind. We calm the mind, in other words, working righteousness, and speaking truth within our heart. We have to reject those negative thoughts and speech patterns. When you hear yourself saying something that you don't want, don't beat yourself up about it. It's called being a human being in this world. Everybody does. But to be an adept about this, when you hear yourself speaking that, cancel it, undo it. Use Marion Weinstein's old trick of taking it out of the law of cause and effect. Nothing ever works for me. Oh, I take that out of the law. You just say that or you think that, and you think a new thought in its place. Everything's working out for me perfectly. That's speaking truth in your heart. He that backbiteth not with his tongue, nor doeth evil to his neighbor, nor taketh up a reproach against his neighbor. Well, let's look at this on several levels. On one level is the golden rule. Treat others as you would like to be treated because you're actually treating others as you are treating yourself. If you start changing the way you treat other people in your mind and in your actions, then that is you changing how you're treating yourself, because there is no place where you stop and they start in ultimate reality, because we all share the same mind. We all share the same substance. We all share the same oversoul. We're all part of that divine child. The other thing too, in the Psalms, people are thoughts. So how are you thinking in your mind in general? Are you backbiting with your tongue? Are you speaking words that are what you don't want? And then doing evil to your neighbor? That doesn't necessarily mean doing evil to people outside of yourself. It is, are you holding evil thoughts, negative thoughts about yourself? Do you think that it's somehow permissible or even virtuous to think poorly about yourself because you somehow believe that's humble? Just remind yourself that's not humble, that's arrogant, because God, this infinite force, doesn't make junk. So if you're saying that I'm bad, I'm not good enough, nothing ever works for me, I'm a nothing, whatever your backbiting, evil things that you're saying about yourself, when in reality, you're not a failure, God's not a failure, you're perfect. It's just that you are caught up in falseness, you're caught up in lies, which is that not speaking truth in your heart, and you want to break that habit as soon as you notice it. In whose eyes a vile person is contemned. It's saying you're going to hate vile people. We don't want to hate anybody. Hatred or contempt means to turn away from. And a vile person is a vile thought. You can use it for people as well. I'm not going to hang out with vile people, but that's really not what we're looking at here. We're looking at the idea that people are thoughts and that you're not going to entertain vile thoughts anymore. You're going to just drop them. You're not going to fight against them. You're just going to drop them. That's contemning. That's hating in the Psalms. Hating means to just turn away from it, to disregard it, to drop it. But he honoreth them that fear the Lord. So you want to honor the thoughts in your mind that fear the Lord. Fear is a loaded word. The ego trades in fear. Everything that is fearful here is something that we want to move beyond. We want to rise above fear. Fear is this idea that we're separate, that we need to defend ourselves, that we're vulnerable, we're possibly going to be attacked, that something bad is going to happen. There's that fear that most of us are going through our lives with. The fear of God takes away all fear. If you fear God, there is nothing to fear, because the fear of God is the only kind of fear that doesn't hurt. It's not really fear like we think of it. It is ecstasy. It is ecstasy. It's the energy of fear without the pain of fear. That risen kundalini, that idea of enlightenment. The constant ecstasy of experiencing the presence of the infinite. When you experience the presence of the infinite, yes, it's peaceful, but it's also intense. And the more you relax and the more at peace you are, the more intensely you experience this ecstasy. So all of the thoughts in your mind that are participating in these ecstatic experiences of the presence of the infinite are what we want to foster. If you're experiencing the fear of God, you're never bored, you're never afraid, you're never poor, you're never sick, you're never unhappy. Nothing ever happens to you other than that which reflects perfection for you. Now, again, this is not to say if you feel the ecstasy of the infinite that you don't need to see the doctor or that you don't need to balance your money and all of that. It's just when you're experiencing the so-called fear of God, all of these things work out for you naturally. You're always naturally attracted to everything that is going to make things work out for you. You're no longer attracted to the things that cause you problems. People talk about the law of attraction. You are attractive to the things that work out for you. So if you are working within this fear of God principle, you can expect all kinds of blessings because like attracts like in the mental world. The first thing you're going to attract to you if you're experiencing the fear of God or this ecstasy is other thoughts are going to be attracted to you. So you're going to start thinking more thoughts about this ecstasy. And what you think about expands into your reality because thoughts are things. And so your experiences in life are going to reflect that ecstasy. But he honoreth them that feareth the Lord. He sweareth to his own hurt and changeth not. It doesn't matter what you've gone through. It doesn't matter if you have a problem. It doesn't matter if you have pain. It doesn't matter if you're sick, because the quiet mind disregards all of those things, disregards all of your hurt. and focuses only on the infinite. And as you start to focus only on the infinite, all of those so-called hurts resolve themselves. But you're not necessarily addressing the hurt specifically. You're not trying to go out and figure out what to do to fix your problem here, fix your problem there. You're disregarding those, at least for the moment, and focusing all of your attention on the infinite. That's a very powerful thing to do, because as you raise the vibrations of your thinking, you raise your vibrations in your aura, and that automatically changes the circumstances in your life, regardless of whether you are purposefully changing anything or not. Many times you don't have to do a spell for money. You don't have to do a spell for a relationship. You don't have to do a spell for healing. It takes care of itself as a result of the vibrations being raised. How do you raise your vibrations? By raising your quality of thinking. And if you're thinking about the infinite, there is no higher vibration than that. He that putteth not out his money to usury. Now, this can be on a very practical level. You're not going to be manipulating people with money. You're not going to take advantage of people with your money. You're not going to go out and be a loan shark and things like that. But think in terms of money and usury as something internal, not being transactional with the infinite, not being transactional in your relationships, not being transactional with yourself. How many times have you made a deal with yourself? If I don't do this, then I'll get that. I'll reward myself with da-da-da if I only da-da-da. Let's step away from transactional motivations for a moment in this psalm and just allow the spirit that is within us to do its thing without us directing it, without us needing to change anything, without us needing to entice something or curse something or bless something or any of that. Just allowing the quiet mind to do it for us. We don't need to be transactional. We don't need to come up with deals in our mind, either with other people or with ourselves or with the infinite or with spirits or whatever your deal making happens to be about. Everybody does it. Everybody makes deals. Let's just let the spirit do its thing. I will step back and let it lead the way for me. And then I'll know what to do. I'll be shown, I'll be told, I'll be guided. But I'm not going to make up my own mind. I'm not going to make deals with myself and the universe and with other people. I'm going to allow things to unfold naturally. Nor taketh reward against the innocent. You don't want to take advantage of other people. Not only is it not a nice thing to do, but that's also a reflection of how you are with yourself, because you don't believe you're innocent. You don't believe you are innocent. You were created innocent. You can't undo your innocence. So if you're scheming and conniving and dealing internally, what that is the ego mind trying to convince you that the universe made a mistake with you, that you're not good enough, and that you have to resort to manipulation. You have to resort to putting things on your own shoulders to get things done because you can't depend on the infinite. The reason why you can't depend on the infinite is because you're not good enough. The infinite doesn't like you. Subtle ego nonsense. Subtle ego manipulation to keep you busy because the ego wants you to think that it's all up to you. Everything's on your shoulders. And the infinite is saying nothing's on your shoulders. We take care of it all for you. You don't have to do anything but sit right now and be quiet and feel good. Sit and know you're innocent. Sit and understand your innocence. You were created innocent and you can't undo that because you're not powerful enough. That's really a blow to the ego. You're not powerful enough to be guilty. Now, yes, of course, in the world we can be, quote, guilty of things. In the world we can. But the world isn't real. It's a nightmare. So if you had a dream that you did something horrible and then you woke up from that dream, you don't have to worry about the police coming and arresting you for whatever you did in your dream because you didn't really do it. The whole world is like that according to the Psalms. In reality, you are asleep having nightmares. You are asleep in heaven, the innocent child of the infinite. Everything good is due you because that's your inheritance. And the more you realize that, and the more you think that way, the less you do involve yourself in the karma of this world. The less you do get involved in the karma of this world. And then you don't have to worry about karmic debt and all of that, because it's no longer a thing for you. Because all you do is sit in that quiet mind, being the innocent child of the universe that you are. Even if it's only for a few minutes a day. He that doeth these things shall never be moved. To do these things is even a misnomer. To realize these things is a better way of putting that. It's not that you have to do anything. You have to recognize these things. You have to realize these things. You don't have to create yourself. You don't have to barter. You don't have to deal. You don't have to cajole. You don't have to manipulate. You don't have to do anything to make things work out. What you are being asked to do here is nothing, is to let go and sit in that quietness, in that silence, knowing that you were created perfect and that nothing can undo that perfection, not even you. Nothing's powerful enough to go against the will of the infinite. And the will of the infinite created you as perfect, and so you shall remain. The most you can hope for in regards to undoing your perfection is falling asleep and having a nightmare about it. But that still doesn't make it true, so you may as well stop. The quiet mind is your inheritance, and within that quietness, within that silence, within that peace is everything that you desire, because the infinite wants it for you. So just keep coming back to the same psalm each and every day until you get a sense of peace and certainty that whatever your issue is that you brought to the psalm is being resolved. You'll get that sense. When you get that little click, I call it, that's just an indicator to you from your deep mind, you're done. You can stop casting on this and move on to something else, because the manifestation of your desire is on its way. Thank you so much for spending some time with me today. Until next time, blessed be.